mean, let me check Facebook real quick and see if am I moving or am I not moving? It'll be a little delayed.
Yeah, it's a little bit delayed.
You can see the screen.
Yeah.
If I make it bigger, does it get bigger? Be a little delayed. The screen didn't, right?
No.
Okay, so gotta go back to this. Did it just shrink again?
Yes.
It did? All right, good. We're good. All right. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. Then, inshallah ta'ala, we are now in chapter 16. 19 chapters in this book. All right. So we're making a lot of progress. We are moving. At the end of this 16 lessons, you have 103 new words, which repeat themselves 35,199 times. That's a lot. That is a lot of Qur'an. Okay. We are now up into the 45% amount. So it's very important for us to keep the focus, keep the momentum. We are almost at our first checkpoint, right? Because our goal is not to finish knowledge. Our goal is just to get to another point, another marker. So after that, we're going to keep on moving to the next marker. And this is a marathon, inshallah. So now we're at the Tashahhud. And the Tashahhud is a very important part of the Salah, obviously. And we should recite the Tashahhud in the Salah. And I think from all the different parts of the salah, that this is the part of the salah that many Muslims, they don't study. They don't know the meaning, right? From the time that they're kids, they heard their parents say something, they watched a video, especially nowadays, newer generation, younger guys, they watch YouTube, and the guy told them what to say, but they don't know what it means. And when we're praying, we shouldn't have this type of mindset. Rather, we should be praying, engaged in what we're doing and what we're saying. So, Shahid,
So this way, check.
okay,
So you shut. I got you, shut. This part of it.
no, no. So now uh, we get into the actual words. Attahiyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibatu. This is the first part. Okay. Now, the tahiyat, don't focus on the meaning from this explanation. I don't agree with that. Okay. Um, I don't know where he got his tafsir from, but what we're gonna do for this portion, we're just gonna put a big black bar right through the middle of that. And it's because I am not aware of any of that from a tafsir that I rely upon, nor do I know where he got it. So we're going to erase that. I'm not saying he's not correct. I'm saying that that's not the way that I learned it, the meanings, and what I know to be correct, what I was taught from our Mashayikh. Rather, a tahiyatu, it comes from yani the greatness, the glorifying the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? From acknowledging the greatness of Allah, right? Everything that is yani good and great, essentially, okay, from greatness and its aspect of greatness, ta'zim, is for Allah. That's just a real general way. We're not going to get into a very uh, detailed explanation of this. The goal is to get through with having a connection to the salah, right? The tahiyatu lillahi, right, is for Allah. Wa salawatu, right? Salawat, right, is singular, is the plural of salah. Okay. So we have salawat and we have a salah. Wa tayyibat, okay? And everything that is good, all things that are tayyib, everything that is tayyib, right? It's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's from Allah, it's for Allah, all goodness, right? So now the people who are saying tahiyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibatu, the mind is currently in where? You are focusing on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So tahiyatu lillahi. Tahiyatu tahiyatu lillahi wa as-salawatu wa at-tayyibatu. Okay. And this is from the aspect of ta'zim, yani acknowledging the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa salawatu, we have a salah, and a tayyibat, we have tayyib, good, right? Tayyibat, okay? Good, goodness, okay? Now, yes, it's true, okay, that the worship of the tongue and of the body and of the money, all these things, yes, it's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? Right? It's spent in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best spending, good spending, is of course to spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? The tahiyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibatu. And the salah, salawat, it includes a dua, right? Salah, prayers and dua. Okay? Prayers and dua and tayyibat. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadallahi as-salihin. Okay? So assalamu alayka. Yes. To who? Yeah, enter, right? So you're directing that speech towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam hear you? Yes, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He given him the permission and the ability to hear. And we don't say, because in this restricted moment that He can hear us, that we can then call on Him in any other time, because you need a specific example. We can't go with the unseen and say, in this instance, we know that this happened. So that means that this is happening all the time, right? So we can't make that type of inference with these type of issues concerning our iman. You cannot do that, okay? So you have to be very careful to restrict that where it belongs to be restricted. In the example that we have, okay? All right? Assalamu alayka, right? Yes. Ayyuhan nabiyyu, right? Oh, you prophet, okay? So we already know assalamu alayka. We have assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu. النبي النبي النبي. Okay. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu. Ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right? Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. And the mercy of Allah and His blessing. Okay. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, you see the tuhu, right? What's the who at the end? Huwa, yes. This is huwa, right? Him, right? The blessing of Allah. Rahmatullah and His blessing, right? Ayyuha, right? Ayyuha is like, oh, to get attention to this type, inshallah. Ayyuha, okay? Ayyuha nabiyyu, a nabi, okay? A nabi is a prophet, okay? The nabiyun, the nabiyin, the anbiya are the prophets, that's the plural, okay? And the Nabi, every messenger is a Nabi, but not every Nabi is a messenger. Okay? Right? So we have this first part. Then we have the second portion. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadullahi as-salihin. Right? So we already have assalamu. Alayna. Now what's the na here? Nahnu. Yes. Alayna. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadullahi. Ibad. Right? And this is plural. Ibadullahi. What type of worship of ibadullah? As-salihin. As-salihin. Okay? As-salihin. All right? So, the slaves of Allah, ibadullah, Abdullah is a servant, ibadullah are the slaves of Allah. Salih, Salihun, Salihin, a book, right? Riyadh al-Salihin. Okay? Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadullahi as-salihin. Okay? Ibadullahi as-salihin. As-salihin. Pretty straightforward, right? I mean, just the fact that Yani, the Dars gets, it's not that it's less involved. There's more vocabulary, as a matter of fact. But the methodology and the flow, it gets more and more simpler as we go. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, right? This is the kalimat tawheed, right? Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, right? So in this, ashhadu, now question, ashhadu, ashhadu. This is a fi'l or an ism.
Yeah.
Fi'l. Is it past tense, maldi, or present tense? Mudari.
Mudari.
Mudari. Very good. Ashhadu. Right? So ashhadu is ana. So let's do the drill. Yashhadu.
Yes.
He witnesses. He's witnessing. Okay? Yashhaduna.
Yes.
They witness. Tashhadu. Tashhaduna. Ashhadu. Nashhadu. Tashhadu. Here, right? Okay. Huwa, he. Whom, they. Anta, you. Antum, you all. Anna, I. Nahnu, we. Hiya, she. Kitabuhu, his book. Kitabuhum, their book. Kitabuka, your book. Kitabukum, you all's book. Kitabi, my book. Kitabuna, our book. Kitabuki, her book. I'm sorry, Kitabuha, her book. Okay, very good. Right. Now, fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they did. Fa'alta, you did. Fa'altum, you all did. Fa'altu, I did. Fa'alna, I did. Fa'alat, she did. Yaf'alu, he's doing. Yaf'aluna, they're doing. Taf'alu, you're doing. Taf'aluna, you all are doing. Af'alu, I am doing. Naf'alu, we are doing. Taf'alu, She is doing. Yashhadu, yashhaduna. They witness, they are witnessing. Tashhadu, tashhaduna. You're witnessing, you all are witnessing. Ashhadu, nashhaduna, nashhadu. I am witnessing, we are witnessing. Tashhadu, she's witnessing. She is witnessing. Okay? All of that, right? Now, you can write all of that. Shahida, shahidu, shahadta, shahadtum, shahadtu, shahadna, shahidat. Yashhadu, yashhaduna, tashhadu, tashhaduna, ashhadu, nashhadu, tashhadu. Okay? Ishhad, right? Bear witness. Ishhadu. La tashhad. La tashhadu. Okay? This is very important. Like going through this and doing this with every single word and then writing it. The more you write, the more you're just gonna be like boom, boom, boom. Okay? And it is really about that. Maybe in the next book, I will introduce to you the style and way that my teacher, my Arabic teacher, has me learn words. It is, it's another level. It's not like it's like some kind of crazy goofy Sufi thing. No, but one thing at a time. Start writing right now, right? You learn the word, write it. Okay? You get it, abida, right? Abida, abidu, right? Abetta, abettum, abetu, abedna, abidat. Yabudu, tabudu, yabudu, yabuduna, tabudu, tabuduna, abudu, nabudu, tabudu. So you can say it fast. Rabud, la tabud, right? So you can say quick, 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 quick. Okay? Tabudun, yes, exactly. So say it fast and keep going that way. Okay? And take that time. Really, really important. Every single word that you can do that with that word, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? Ashhadu, I bear witness. Okay? And la, that, la, ilaha. And the way they write it is like this. Ilaha, illa, illa Allah. La ilaha illallah. Okay? La ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu. Now we know the word ashhadu. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan. When you put the den, there's a fatha at the end. Okay, Muhammadan. That fatha, it doesn't say Muhammadana. It says Muhammadan, and the purpose of this alif here is to protect the tanween. Okay, Muhammadan. So here in Muhammadan, there's that alif that's right there. And that, just to be, I'm not getting all technical. Remember, this dars is not technical. I don't need all the technical comments in the world. Somebody like, oh, I know what the name of that is. That's good. But right now, focus on, knowing what is its purpose. Okay, that you don't pronounce it, and its whole goal for this thing right here is that it protects the tenween. That's all it does. Okay, that's what it does. All right, Muhammadan, Abduhu, Abduhu. Right, so we have who. What is the who? It is who. Abduhu, who. Wa Rasuluhu. Okay, or Rasuluhu. Yeah, Rasul, Rusul. Rasul, singular. Rusul, plural. Okay. So, Rasul, okay. Rasuluhu, right? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ورسوله. Okay? ورسوله. He is his messenger. Okay? Now, quick point. I'm going to make this point for the record. It's incumbent as us as Muslims, we need to learn the conditions of La ilaha illallah and of Muhammad Rasulullah. And it just so happens that this is what we're teaching with our kids in our weekend school. Uh, and we just finished it in our full-time school, as a matter of fact, as well, before we got to the Salah. And it's really an eye-opener to a lot of people. And I think after we finish our Mu'taqid as-Sahih, reading the Shurut of La ilaha illallah, and just going through the conditions of La ilaha illallah with the proofs is very, very important, because it stops a lot of misconceptions and doubts and things that go around, right? If you have Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah and Muhammad Abduhu Rasuluhu, right? And you really understand that, Muhammad Rasulullah, right? Now, uh, this, because of the hadith that we've been teaching the kids, and I'm just narrating this hadith because I really want you guys to understand how important this kalima is. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, authentic hadith, "Ma min ahadin yashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah sidqan min qalbihi illa haramahu Allahu min an-nar." Okay, that there has never been a person. This is from one of the greatest pieces of information, the glad tidings that the Prophet gave. One of the most amazing, the greatest statements he said. He said, there is not a single person who has testified that La ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah truthfully from his heart, except Allah has made the hellfire haram for him. That is the greatest news. That what's better than that? I mean, think about it. Like, this is your best shot. You know, when you have the deen, how many hadith are there? Many, right? They said Imam Ahmed memorized 1,000,000 hadith. Now, we know it doesn't mean that there's 1,000,000 individual hadith, right? Chain and method, we know that. But how much of the sunnah does suffice you as an average Muslim, as us as laymen? What do we need to know? This is one of the greatest things. So now the whole focus goes on to what? Okay, I know Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I know Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But do I truly know it? Am I being truthful about it? Is it in my heart? You know what I mean? So studying these conditions is really important. So inshallah, so I think we'll do after we finish the Mu'taqid as-Sahih, inshallah, we'll get into that. We'll get into the sunnah and what opposes the sunnah to opposite bid'ah. So this is very, very important for us, right? وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا عَبْدُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Okay, very extremely important. Very extremely important. Now, using the grammar, okay, we have Rahima, Amila, Alima, Sami'a. And it says using what? TPI. What is he talking about? If you read in the very beginning of the book, that's what we've been doing this whole time. Using colors, using hands, using speech, right? It's total something interaction. I'm sorry, now I'm gonna mess it up. Using this total interaction, okay? Right? Sensory interaction, right? Basically. That we're gonna start with the first word, okay? Using TPI, first word. So we have Rahima. Point to the finger, one finger to the right. Rahima, Rahimu, Rahimta, Rahimtu. I'm sorry. Rahima, Rahimu, Rahimta, Rahimtum, Rahimtu, Rahimna, Rahimet, Okay. Now, secondly, amila. Next word. Amila. Amilu. Amilta. Amiltum. Amiltu. Amilna. Amilat. Third word. Alima. Alimu. Alimta. Alimtum. Alimtu. Alimna. Alimat. Sami'at. Next word. Sami'u. Sami'ta. Sami'tum. Sami'tu. Sami'na. Sami'at. Okay. Using TPI. Here we have past tense, present tense. Let's mix it up. So the first one is what? Semia, right? Is that the first one? Rahima. Okay. So we have Rahima, Yarhamu. Rahimu, Yarhamuna. See, I did past tense and present tense. The more I play with it, the more that my mind is going to make this thing stick. Okay? Rahimta, Tarhamu. Rahimtum. Tarhamuna. Rahimtu, Arhamu, Rahimna, Narhamu, Rahimat, Tarhamu. Okay? Going down this line, right? So look at the page, starts with Semia, okay? Going to the next page after that, they have Alima, Amila, and Rahima, okay? Rahima, Yarhamu, okay? Rahimtum is hard for us to say, but it's Rahimtum, right? And Tarhamuna, right? That's what we just went through right here. Now, here goes the verb, the command. Irham. Irhamu. La tarham. La tarhamu. A rahim is the one who shows the mercy. Okay? And now look, what do they not have? They don't have a marhum. Oh, did they put it here? No, they did. They put it on the next word, didn't they? They have it there. Yeah, next page. Marhum. And then they have rahma. Okay? Okay? So that it's a little sloppy. They put the rest of the dars on that last page there. Yeah, so look at on the page 90. Sami'a yasma'u. Okay. Sami'u yasma'una. Sami'ta tasma'u. Sami'tum tasma'una. Sami'tu asma'u. Sami'na nasma'u. Sami'at tasma'u. Isma'. Listen, this is what our parents are screaming at us. Isma'. Isma' Abdullah. Right? Isma'u. La tasma'. La tasma'u. A sami' is the one who listens. A masmur is the one who is listened to. And sam' is hearing. Yes, sam'. Okay, I got one meeting right now. Okay, got one. Yes, Isa.
Hey, yes, sir.
No.
What book are you teaching out of, so I can get that?
Oh,
Hey,
I'll
yes,
send it
sir.
to you. I'll send it to you.
No.
Inshallah.
What book are you teaching out of, so I can get that?
I'm sorry, there's an
Hey,
echo.
yes, sir. What you say, Shaq? I just heard my voice from way back.
Sorry, there's an echo. Inshallah.
What you say, Shaq? I just heard my voice from way back.
Okay, I'm going to send you the book, the PDF file, inshallah.
What you say, Shaq? Inshallah.
Is it echoing like that? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute you again, Aki, and hopefully the echoing will stop when I did that. I'm going to send you the book, inshallah. I'll send to you, inshallah. All right, I'll send to you, inshallah. I'll post it back in the Drew's form, inshallah, on WhatsApp. Bismillah. Okay? Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. So now Sam is listening, okay? Now go to the next page. Alima, to know, okay? Alima, ya'lamu. Alimu, ya'lamuna. Alimta, ta'lamuna. Alimtum, ta'lamuna. I'm sorry, I messed up. I said amilta ta'maluna. It's amilta ta'malu. Then it's amiltum ta'maluna. Okay. Amiltu a'lamu. Yes. Then we have alimna na'lamu. Then for here we have alimat and we have ta'lamu. Okay. Now i'lam is to know. The command i'lam. Right? I'lam rahimahullah. Exactly. Rahimakullah. Right? I'lamu. Right? All of you know. La ta'lam. Don't learn, don't know. Right? La ta'lamu. An alim is someone who knows. Ma'lum is that which is known. See? The book is ma'lum, not the student. Okay? Because it's not, the student is not known, right? Like you're known as my student now, right? So you're ma'lum, but that doesn't mean student. That means that you're known. We know who you are. We know that you exist. But now what is ma'lum in this dars? This book. This book is ma'lum. Okay? All right? And ilm is knowledge. And then amila, ya'malu, right? He did or he worked or he is working, right? Then amilu, ya'maluna, amilta, ta'maluna. I'm sorry, ta'malu. Did it again. Amiltum, ta'maluna. Amiltu, a'malu. Amilna, na'lamu. I'm sorry, na'malu. Yes. And amilat and ta'malu. Right? And i'mal. Do it, work. I'malu. Do it, like all of it, work. All of you work. Okay? La ta'mal. Don't work. You're not paying us enough. Quit. La ta'mal, Aki. Okay? Have a zulm. This is oppression. Right? La ta'malu. Y'all don't work. All of you quit. Stop it. You're outworking me. I'm gonna get fired. Yeah, King Super. Don't strike. Get out. Amilun. An amil is a worker. Okay. Ma'mul is that which is worked upon. Okay. So again, the worker is called an amil, and what they're working on is called ma'mul. Okay. And amil is work. And we did rahima already. Okay. This is the end of the lesson. Okay. Here's the homework here. Write these and fill these out. I think for the third week, or not third week, the third class in a row, I did not post the homework. I'm sorry. I will post it, inshallah, to the group so you guys can print it with the book, inshallah. I will do that. Please, if you can remind me this evening, when I get home, inshallah, I will do it, inshallah. Okay? So this is Darts number 17 that we're going to go into. All right. So we have 17, 18, 19. That's it. That's it. Okay. We are that close. Okay. 3 lessons, 17, 18, 19. That means by next Saturday could be our last class. Then, for this book, inshallah. Then we will move on. But you will have finished the 50% of the Quran course. Okay. Now, many of us will say, I don't have it all. And the thing that I want to remind you of is that nobody has all of it. Okay, first of all. Secondly, if you have 90%, you're an A student, but you're still missing 10%, right? If you have 50%, you have 25% of the Quran. I think all of you have more than 25% of the Quran. I think all of you are really honestly in that 85 to 100% range. If you accomplish that on your first dry run with this book, which wasn't really dry because we went into it, but if you did do that, you are very proficient and good. May Allah increase you in beneficial knowledge. So this is good, right? Like you're making this progress is real. It's not hypothetical or anything like that, inshallah. It's really important for us to keep that in our mind and be positive and know what direction we're moving in because you guys are moving at a very fast pace, if you can see, but the way it's being introduced is not very, very, very fast. The origin of the tashahhud, I don't know an authentic narration for this, but I do know that there are about six different ways are authentically proven that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he made the tashahhud. So, what was the main major origin in general? I don't have something authentic, and yani, there's something I heard when I was newer in Islam, but this is before I learned to take the dalil. So, there's a lot of things that we learn, but once you learn what is the deen, then you say, yani, I refrain. Let me wait and research. I'll get back to you, inshallah, to tell you what I have researched and found, inshallah, that's authentic. And if you guys know, you can post it, inshallah, jazakumullah khair, barakallahu fikum. But I don't want to say something that I don't know. So, inshallah ta'ala, we will end here with this. I'll post the homework, bidnillah, and we'll begin chapter 17 this Saturday, inshallah ta'ala. Remember, read the Quran, read it often, read it every day, have it on your phone, have it wherever you're at. Okay? Wherever you are, there should be a Quran with you in your phone or a physical Quran with you. If you're memorizing, you should try to use one book. Use that book, memorize from that book, right? Take the knowledge in, take it, remember it. But more importantly, as now Ramadan's getting closer, this is going to sound very ambitious, but it's doable. Wallahi, it's doable. Okay, it is doable. If you can read the Arabic alphabet, okay, try to finish the Quran twice this month. This month, that's coming up, right? We still have, right now, if you're doing your reading, you should be in the 24th uh, juz tonight, starting the 24th juz. Okay, that's if you're going one juz per night. Okay, so yes, yeah, 24th juz. So now if you're there, you can try starting from the 24th and or try to read two, inshallah. Try to finish the Quran, the last part from 24 to 30 before the end of the month. Okay? Inshallah ta'ala. And when you read, here's a nice tip on how to read. This is for reading. Okay? Two ways to read. Reading with tartil and tajweed and reading to read the content, right? Two ways. When you're looking at the page, okay, these are words, okay? This word, this word, this word, this word. How many words are there? There are a total of 4 words. Now, if I read this word beginning to end, it's going to be at a certain pace and it's going to take me a certain amount of time. Okay? If I read from beginning to end this word, now that's reading with tartil. You should read with tartil every day. But there's another type of reading where you're reading over the Quran without the tartil as a separate type of reading. You can have 5 bookmarks in your mushaf, and we'll go over this before Ramadan, right? 5 places in your mind for the mushaf of where you are. There's 5 different places where you should be, and when you're reading, 5 different places you make bookmarks, and we'll go over to it. But the first place, you're going to put your eyes not on the word when you're doing the reading, not tartil. Tartil, you read the entire thing, and you read it nice and slow, and use your tongue, use your wind, use it to perfect and work on your tajweed. Read slow. Alhamdulillahi, like this, okay? I know that wasn't very tartily, but that's what here. So now, but when you're doing reading, put your eyes between these 2 words. You can see both words. Okay? In the mushaf, they're not so far spaced that you can't, you look at the middle word and your peripheral vision is not letting you see what the other words are. So the page is close, the words are close. Put your eyes between the words. Don't put your eye on the word. Why? Especially if you're like me, I'm OCD. When I read a word, I'm into that word, especially with the Quran, right? Allah said, man, he said, Alhamdu, Alhamdu, Alhamdu. Now, why did he say Alhamd? He said Alhamd, and this is this, and then I'm gonna look up that word, and I'm gonna get to that word. What's the opposite of that word? Okay, what are synonyms? Well, he could have used other words. Why did he use that? Okay, what other places did he use that word? And what other places did he use words like it? Right? Now your brain is fried, and you just got finished reading one word. That's why I never finished a book until I was 28. It's not because I couldn't read. It's because I overdid it. And I was reading garbage, by the way. I'm reading, Yani, I used to really read a lot of political philosophy and strategy and Yani Machiavelli, Yani stupid stuff. Okay? Dumb. You know, the Odyssey. Okay? Homer. I'm reading that book like word for word, and it's even a translation, you know? That's how much I didn't know about knowledge. And I'm breaking down these words like, man, why he said that, he said this, you know? I think someone saw me, they might have thought I was a little crazy, right? Because the way I would read it, but I was deep into it. There's nothing surface to me, you know? But now, like with the Quran, of course, it's a part of my reading. Sometimes I read like that. That's one of the bookmarks. I mean, you're stopping on everything and trying to get the most. You're opening up the books for that one. That's where you're getting all your tafsir, you're getting all of your dictionaries, you get all of your resources and putting it all there. And you might read 2 or 3 words, right? In an hour, okay? But you will have a good in-depth understanding, right? Of those 3 words. Wow, this work out. Yes, we did, Chief. So that is one way. Now, but when I'm reading, if I put my eyes here, now I can see these 2 words. And now my brain can't think about the 2 words at the same time. It cuts out the background noise. It helps me focus and read for longer, actually. So sometimes, like, I'll try to finish a book. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. Say, for example, the book is like a small book, like 130 pages. Okay. I will try to finish that book in a 2 hour sitting. Okay. That means that's 1 page per minute, right? It's doable. The way, but that's reading it a certain way. Okay. Am I going to grasp 100% of everything I'm reading? No, but I can organize it. I can get a general idea and I can keep on moving. I can highlight things, I can bookmark and things that I need to come back to because, especially if you read in an organized fashion, a lot of things that they repeat, you already learned in the Surah Al-Latha. Now here you are, Kashubahat. So now you need to know, okay, I already have this in Surah Al-Latha. I can skip over this part. This part was mentioning this. I get that. Okay, here's where I'm at. This is a statement that is new. Let me look at that. Okay, I'll come back to it though. Let me go here, right? And you can read through it that way, right? And like that, you can do a lot of reading, especially things like Surah Al-Kahf, right? You can read it tartilan, you can read it with yani tadabbur, really pondering over it, or you can read it for qira'ah. See what I'm saying? Just reading, okay? Those are 3 bookmarks, by the way. Then you have hifz and you have muraja. That's 5, okay? There's other ones besides that, but those are the main ones. So when you're reading, you put your eyes here, just as for reading. Now, once you have that word, I can put my eyes here and I can see all 3 of these words. I already know what that word is, right? And I'm always looking at to read in that fashion, okay? Now I can rest my eyes here, right? And I can see actually this whole thing here, right? Now, if I'm looking in a book and the book is going, okay, I'm pretty much gonna boom, boom. Now here, I will say slow down, okay? Practice this with Arabic. Move your tongue when you read, even if you're reading quietly, move your tongue. And when you get to that word right there, mumble it. Don't say it out loud all the way. Okay. Like the more that you learn how to like read something like efficiently, this is a very good skill. Okay. So now with the Quran, you have a bookmark for pondering, you have a bookmark for reading, you have a bookmark for memorizing, you have a book for tartil, okay? You have one for reviewing what you've already memorized, okay? The rule for a review that 10 days cannot go by, you didn't read what you've already memorized, at least once. So my recommendation, until you finish 3 juz of Quran, review 1 juz per day. That will be your review. And it will be so easy, by the way. Because Juz Amma will become Fatiha. It will, inshallah. Juz Tabarak will become Fatiha, inshallah. But only by repeating it every single day, just like you do repeat it, repeat Fatiha how many times a day, right? So once you get to 3 juz, then maybe split it to half a juz per day, okay? So now, if you do that every 6 days, you are now getting through those 3 juz, okay? And then, proceeding that way. And if you guys want more advice, if you're further than that, you probably already have a system, but if you don't have one, then you can ask me. I'll try to tell you what I know, what I've learned, and what I've read from other books and from some mashayikh and advices that we've gotten, inshallah ta'ala. But, inshallah ta'ala, I hope that's helpful for you guys as far as reading, as far as interacting with the Quran. Do not go to sleep tonight unless you read Quran. Don't. And try to make the last thing that you read Quran. Try to make the last thing that you read the Quran, and then make your niyyah and your intention purely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make your azkar, go to sleep. Maybe inshallah you'll see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your dream. Maybe in that dream you will have yani true dreams. That's the one of the secrets for you, right? One of the tips. Read Quran, make the last thing that's in your on your mind the speech of Allah, right? Make your adhkar, remembering Allah with consciousness, saying the words Subhanallah, 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 right? Go to sleep like that, and then dream. Many people don't do that. Okay, so some of the dreams they have, they're not true dreams, but they dream a lot. But if they look at the way that they're doing, if they want to have dreams and they would like to try to see the Prophet ﷺ, learn his sunnah, follow his sunnah, read the Quran, learn his description, read Shamal Muhammadiyah, yani do all these things. Inshallah, you see the Prophet ﷺ in your dreams. Inshallah, I just advise before you go to sleep. So yeah, take that for this time now, inshallah ta'ala, and take these words and put them in, and this is a good way for you to proceed. Uh, and anything I said that is true and good is from Allah and His Messenger, and anything I said is not is from myself or Shaitan, and Allah's Messenger are free from it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك جزاكم الله خيرا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.